Hello, family. How's everyone doing today? I'm back. Thank y'all so much for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. And thank y'all for holding it down while I was gone on my birthday vacation. But let's talk about it, family, because yes, I'm back to ride those bumpers. Anyway, I'm trying to figure out why Diddy didn't take Tiffany Henyard with him down there in that slammer because she's well overdue for that slammer. That's what I'm trying to figure out. He should have took Tiffany right along with him to that slammer. Yeah, we're going to talk about that as well. And then we're going to talk about Tiffany done worked herself up on a temporary restraining order. Yes, good for her. Yes, yes. I'm so glad. Done worked herself up on a temporary restraining order, which she's so much deserve. Yes, you do. And then let's talk about how Tiffany let her goons surround Mr. Paul this past Tuesday at a board meeting. And she authorized that. That was a clear setup. And they tried to jump this man in this board meeting. It was so hurtful to see. It hurted my heart. I know the world was hurt when they saw Tiffany goons trying to jump on this elderly man inside of a community board meeting. What? You know I'm riding the bumpers right there. Then I do want to touch on D.L. Hugley and Janet Jackson. I want to say some things about that as well. So let's go ahead on and start riding those bumpers. And Tiffany also has hired a bootleg chief of police that don't nobody want. She done hired illegally a throwed away police chief that nobody wants. See, Tiffany tried to do her own thing, and we're going to talk about that as well, because you see right here, Bert Oderson, Henyard appointment of Ronald Byrd Sr. is not legal. She's always doing things that's not legal. Always breaking rules and laws. But we going to ride that bumper today. Oh, yes, we are. But y'all already know what we got to do for the ones in the back, of course. This video is under fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Acts in 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, and personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Yes, fair use. All rights and credits go directly to its rightful owner. This video is purely for fair use, opinion, and entertainment. Enjoy. And we also want to add that everything in this video is alleged. Yes. Okay, family. So first I want to tell everybody thank you so much for the birthday wishes. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to the replay gang. Shout out to the moderators, awesome moderators. Shout out to everyone who be in the comment section. It makes a difference. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. Sending love to each and every one of y'all. Thank you to the chat. The chat be on fire like always. Just thank everybody with a whole lot of love and hugs. Sending to each and every one of y'all way. Just thank you. Because if it wasn't for y'all, it wouldn't be possible. Okay, so just thank y'all. Now, let's get right on to it, family. Because, see, Tiffany, I'm trying to figure out why Diddy didn't take his little play cousin down there, Tiffany, to that slammer with him. Because she is well overdue. Now, Tiffany done hired this here bootleg police chief who is throwed away, who ain't nothing but a reject, because don't nobody want him, okay? He done been fired everywhere he went. Dixmoor, Dolton, everywhere he go. Don't nobody want him because he's full of toxicity, okay? And then we're going to talk about Tiffany's temporary restraining order and how her goons got up and tried to jump on Mr. Paul and his wife. Now, this reject hen and her reject chief of police, she hired him. And you'll see it says Dolton trustees called Mayor Henyard's police chief appointment illegal. Yes, because she didn't go through any type of board vote. She didn't bring it before the board, anything. She just called herself going to hire this man to take Louis Lacey's spot. Okay? And that's not how it go, Tiffany. That is not how it go. So y'all will see right here, and then we'll get right on into her temporary restraining order, which she so desperately needs. Henyard appoints Ronald Byrd Sr. as a village police chief Friday, a move that trustees said was made without the consent of the village board. And it says trustees told NBC Chicago that they are in contact with a lawyer regarding legal actions surrounding the appointment. Burge most recently worked in the Dixmoor Police Department and previously ran against Henyard in the 2021 Dolton mayor election. So he ran against her for mayor in 2021 when she was running. Obviously, he lost and the hen won. But I tell you right now, neither one of those rejects should have won at all. Okay, so then it says he replaced Louis Lacey, who was serving as the department's acting chief. He ain't replacing no Louis Lacey because according to the trustees, this is illegal. And according to Bert Oderson, this is illegal. Okay? So, we cares nothing about Mr. Byrd, Surge, whatever, okay? We really don't. We really don't, sir. We don't care nothing about you. You'll learn because you're going to start getting your bumper rolled, too. That's just how it go around here at the Knowledge family, okay? Now, the trustees and Mr. Burt, they said that they are working on some things about Tiffany doing this because it was totally illegal, okay? And we will talk about Diddy as well. But my thing is, why? I mean, this man, Tiffany hires people that have terrible backgrounds. She don't even do a background check like required. Okay? She don't bring anything before the board like required. She just do things her own way, which proves why she have all those subpoenas stacked on top of her head from the alphabet boys. Okay? So now, let's listen to what Mr. Burt said about this whole situation. Shout out to Mr. Burt, and shout out to the trustees, and shout out to Mr. Burt doing the interview with Lisa Dent again. Okay, so shout out to Lisa Dent and the gang over there. They have a good podcast. Might want to check it out, family. But they talk about a lot of different things, even if you, especially if you're in the Chicago area, because Lisa Dent and them, man, they tell a lot that's going on around the Chicago area that's dealing with suspect things such as this right here, Tiffany Henyard. Okay, and they talk about a lot of other different topics as well. So, let's listen to Mr. Bert Oderson. Let's listen to him because he said he don't know why this man here. I don't know why Tiffany hired this reject.
Bert, how are you today?
Listen.
Hi, how are you today?
Good. Is it an illegal appointment? Did she have the right to hire this police chief?
She absolutely did not, and not only didn't she have the right to hire this dude as the chief, she didn't have the right to hire Michael Smith as the village administrator, nor Angela Lockett as a village attorney. She keeps plunking these people out of the abyss and saying that they're this, and that, without bringing it to the board and without getting the advice and consent of the trustees. Now, they're totally illegal. She's gone to the bottom of the barrel, and this lawyer, this Angela Lockett, she's from Gary, Indiana. She practices in Gary. It doesn't do municipal law, and doesn't have any malpractice insurance. I mean, it goes on and on and on. This Ronald Byrd,
Now, Mr. Bert Oderson said that first of all, Tiffany is scratching the bottom of the barrel. We already said that, family. We already said she deep diving in that mud wallin pen, trying to find some more ducks and goose and all that. And they all terrible. She done went to the bottom of the barrel where everything is rotten, okay? First of all, her and her goons is rotten. But the point is, Tiffany is scraping the bottom of the barrel. And she continues to play in the Fed's face. And the Feds don't take too kindly of people playing in their face, Tiffany. Yeah. So let's listen to what Mr. Burt said right here. And he also said that so-called female lawyer that Tiffany done bought up there and said she's appointed, she don't really have qualifications for nothing. Not to trying to be an attorney for a village at all.
Self-appointed police chief, he has sued the village many times. Aside from running for mayor, he has brought multiple suits against the village, and has had a dispute in the past in Dixmoor with Michael Smith, the alleged new village administrator. Michael Smith has been arrested countless times for crimes, pled guilty years ago to attempted resisting arrest, and has a rap sheet that is longer than my arm. We're going to court tomorrow, and you're the first to know. We're filing a lawsuit and asking a judge for a temporary restraining order, restraining her, Henyard, from making these illegal appointments without going to the board. Are you filing tomorrow? We're filing tomorrow.
So, Mr. Burt and the trustees are filing tomorrow temporary restraining order. Okay, and which I got this a couple of days later after Mr. Burt did this, so most likely he has already put down, him and the trustees, that restraining order, okay? Because when I got this, he had already did it like 2 days ago. So he was saying they're going to file that temporary restraining order tomorrow, which he most likely has already done that. And that's going to keep this mud-walling hen from appointing people without going through the board, without going through the proper channels, without trying to do things her way. She's supposed to do things according to the law. State law, federal law. So they put in this restraining order out on her, which most likely is already on her now, because Mr. Burt's not going to say that and not do it, okay? So they put the restraining order on Tiffany to stop her in her tracks. So there will be no more hiring people. And furthermore, Michael and that chief and that attorney that Tiffany done appointed, they might as well pack their bags and leave, because they will not get not one piece of red penny, not one check from the village of Dolton at all, unless Tiffany paying them out of her own pocket. And she cheap. She cheap. She always spending the village money instead of spending her own money. Even though she makes a good salary, she don't want to touch her money. So which tells us she is definitely not going to pay them out of her pocket. Okay? So, Michael, you might as well go back to cutting grass or go back to grandma and help your grandma. And you need to go and try to apply for being a garbage truck man, because you fit that perfectly, okay? Every time I look at you, I see garbage, okay? So you might want to go and try to apply for the city garbage workers. Be one of the guys on the back of the garbage truck dumping trash. That fits you perfectly, because that's exactly what is given to me every time I look at you. But anyway, so y'all heard him say he putting that temporary restraining order out on Tiffany. Now check this out.
And a complaint against Henyard and asking for a temporary restraining order. But it could come that quickly. It depends on service, and I don't know what lawyer, if any, is going to represent her anymore. Like I said, she's run through lawyers as well as police chiefs, as well as village administrators. And this new guy, this Burge, I know Burge only too well. He's not even certified. He's inactive, according to the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board. He was introduced to the commanders at the village of Dolton, and he told one of the commanders, that expedition out there, I like that. Give me the keys.
Oh, no.
Drive our commanders first.
Wow. Now, you mean to tell me, Mr. Burke, say it ain't so, Mr. Burke. You mean to tell me as soon as this reject chief called himself walking into the job at Dolton that the hen hired him illegally, he seen one of those expedition cars and say, I like that, give me the keys. He must be driving a Pinto then. Or he damn near right at the borderline of a 10-speed. Why in the hell is he so excited about a goddamn expedition? Shows that he ain't got nothing. And if he do, he ain't used to nothing. Who walks into their job and see cars and say, ooh, I like that, give me the keys. And he done took one of the officers' cars. Now he driving in it and he ain't even supposed to be there. His appointment is illegal. See, this is what I'm talking about. This mud wildin' here need to go. Diddy, why didn't you take your play cousin with you down at that slammer? Because she well overdue. Yes, he done walked in there. And then you heard Mr. Burke say, family, that this man ain't even certified in the Illinois state listing. He's not even certified to even be a police officer no more, a chief no more, any of that. So how do Tiffany just appoint somebody who's not even certified through the state to be a chief? Just like she was passing police officers' tests when they didn't pass, she still passed them anyway and made them police officers. She do this. Just disregard the law, state and federal, altogether. Wow. Okay.
He's not going to get paid. He's not on the payroll. He's not going on the payroll. It's just another absurdity arising from Henyard's actions.
Wow.
My personal opinion is absolutely. I just knowing what I know, let alone what I don't know about the misappropriation of money that has gone through her administration. Remember, there's already been two indictments. Her deputy chief, who we fired a few weeks ago, has been indicted, and her village administrator was indicted. I do know, and it's not a secret, that the U.S. Attorney's Office is well into investigating her antics in the village of Dolton.
I'll ask you what
he has their own timetable, and they do things according to their own timetable and to their own.
And he's talking about the FBI, because they was asking, well, do you think she's going to get arrested? And he said, oh, most definitely. All the things they have on her and all the subpoenas, it's just going to take some time, but they definitely are going to get it. But we're going to talk about that part in a minute, family, because the way they tried to jump on an elderly man named Mr. Paul at this meeting, we're going to talk about that, okay? But the thing is, he was saying, yes, it does take the Fed a minute, but they are working on it, and they stay in contact with the feds, even the residents.
Neither I nor anyone else can tell you what the timetable is. I am very curious, and I just saw it. The current mayor of Fort Heights was found guilty today of extorting over $100,000 just this morning in criminal court.
I did.
Wow.
Yes, it really is. It's really a tremendous abuse of power and ego, which has detrimentally impacted the residents of Dolton and will impact them for years to come because of the millions of dollars that have been spent for nonsense.
You heard him say millions of dollars. Tiffany going to jail. Millions and millions of dollars has been spent by Tiffany and her goons without any type of approval, anything. Oh, she going to jail. Yeah,
Not approved by the board for trips. You've seen it on TV, you've heard it on the radio, you've heard me talk about it, you've heard the former Mayor Lightfoot talk about it. It's a tragedy. It's a human tragedy what's going on in Dolton.
And they asked him, is Miss Lori Lightfoot still working on the case?
No, it has not run its course.
And he said yes.
She did not get all of the credit card statements, the vouchers. We're starting finally to get these from the accountants and the people who have been in charge of the money. She has done more interviews of Thornton Township officials, of the village of Dolton people.
You talking about Miss Lightfoot?
No, her work is not done yet. Asking a court to stop her from making these illegal appointments is just putting the Dolton residents and the village in more jeopardy. We're asking for a restraining order.
Thank you so much for joining.
Yep, they asking for a restraining order, Tiffany, and you rightly deserve it.
Even though that they owe us hundreds of thousands of dollars because of her refusal to pay, we refuse to leave. We're sticking this out with the trustees.
And that's Mr. Burke talking about, even though they haven't been paid for a long, long time, him and his law firm is still sticking it out with the trustees, because his goal is to help these trustees and the residents of Dolton. He said it's unreal. And I tell you, if he wasn't there to help the trustees and try to guide the trustees in the right direction to try to get this hen stopped, and even with him and the trustees doing all of this, it's still hard. They still run into roadblocks, but his law firm and him are eager to stop this chaos that's going on, that Tiffany is putting all this hardship on the village. So he said even though they haven't been paid, they still going to stick in there with them.
Till we right the ship.
So that's it. So y'all heard the family. Yes. Tiffany, Mr. Burt said that he put in a restraining order. That was 2 days ago when I found it. So he most likely and the trustees already done dropped that temporary restraining order on top that hen's head. Yes, and rightfully so. But now this mud-waddling hen keep breaking state and federal laws and confusing the residents and confusing the police department with her criminal behavior and unhinged behavior by appointing flunkies and criminals to positions that's really illegal for them to have. See, this thing it's confusing. And like we always said, when you're messing with somebody like Tiffany, who they wear helmets all day long, right? They put all their homework in their helmet because they don't have enough sense to put all their notes in a book bag. So when you're dealing with somebody like that, yes, everybody gets confused because they confused. And it's not a matter of if the Fed's gonna pick Tiffany up. It's when are they gonna pick Tiffany up? Because she is going to them Feds bunkers down there, a.k.a. Slammer. Yes, she is. She going to that Slammer. She going to that Slammer because neither one of these two are even authorized to be in the position that this hen appointed them to. You heard Mr. Burt say it, just as plain as clear, that he not even certified anymore. That's just like Louis Lacy. He ain't certified anymore. So how you gonna put another uncertified chief in an uncertified chief position? Tiffany got to be slow. And how do you put someone like this who has a terrible background, that shouldn't even be around any young kids at all. She appoints him to be a village administrator. Call himself gonna take Keith's spot. No. Keith is still there. Tiffany, you going to that slammer, him. You going to that slammer, and we can't wait till you go in there. We really can't wait till you go see this little 2x4 jail cell, because we tired of looking at you. We tired of talking about you. All that. Okay? So, I'm going to tell you right now, Tiffany, you are going in there. And the feds don't have no beauty supplies. They don't have no wigs in that joint. And they don't accept Amazon orders. And they not taking your ass to Roof Chris. Remember when you took your goons to Roof Chris? Yeah, no, they not taking you to no Roof Chris, okay? And they not having no bingo night for your ass down there. No. Trifling folks, no, you don't get that, okay? And they not taking you on no lavish trips. And you not getting your Just Ice rollerblades. You ain't getting none of that. You ain't getting no Just Ice roller skates. You ain't getting none of that. You will not be getting no Tahoe rides. No, Tahoe rides is over with. Once you get down there, it's over with. That's where this trifling hen needs to be. No more Tahoe rides. You can forget all that. And they will not be providing you with any more flunkies down there. You might become a flunky for some of those inmates down there, but you damn sure ain't gonna get any flunkies. No, it ain't gonna go that way. I just can't wait. Point blank, period. Think it's a game, Tiffany. Because, see, you still playing in these feds' face. That's what you doing. Because the world is watching you throw yourself deeper in that quicksand. That's about 50 feet deep. While you keep playing in them feds' face. And Tiffany thinks she proving a bully tactic point, an unhinged point to the village trustees and to Thornton trustees. But she's actually disrespecting the feds, who have all kind of subpoenas on top of her head right now. She's actually playing in their face. See, Tiffany think by her, we'll go over that too in a minute. They had a Thornton Township meeting this past Tuesday, and even with them voting things down, she said clean out her mouth, I don't care, I'm going to do it anyway. That's playing with the feds' face, because that's the government's money that she talking about. I don't care, I'm going to do it anyway. They vote the bingo down. Oh, don't y'all worry about it, I'm going to do bingo anyway. I'm going to spend the government's money anyway. I'm going to spend the government's funds anyway. See, while Tiffany think that she's hurting the trustees or trying to prove a point to the trustees and to the people out here like us, she's trying to prove a point to us that she could do what the hell she want to do. She actually playing in the feds' face with her dumb ass. Because that's the feds' money she playing with. Yeah. Yeah, so let's see how that work out for you, Tiffany. Because she actually challenging the feds with all this criminal behavior, all this criminal talk, all this breaking the rules, breaking state laws, federal laws, like her and her goons run things. Like they take over the government. See, they done already took over Thornton Township. All 12, 13 municipalities. They done took over all that. They done took over Dolton Village, okay? Let's just keep it a beam. And I show y'all, we've been talking about this the whole time. And I've been telling the Knowledge family, this thing is getting worse. And we're going to see how Tiffany Goons tried to jump on Mr. Paul and his wife. And Tiffany slid out that door so she couldn't be a witness to it. She authorized it. I'll show y'all the pictures of how the setup went. Yeah. So while she challenging the feds and acting like those subpoenas ain't shit for real, she acting like the feds are beneath her. Tiffany's quicksand is actually deeper than Diddy's. A lot of people say, huh? Yes, Tiffany quicksand is deeper than Diddy's quicksand. You know why I say that, family? Because Tiffany has dogged and bullied and took federal money and put about 12 municipalities in deep hardship. And then along with that, she put the village of Dolton in hardship and near bankruptcy. And that's about what? 20,000 people just in the village? That's not counting those 12 or more municipalities. And Tiffany is using the government money while putting them in hardship. She's swindling the government's money while putting them in hardship. That's a deep quicksand she putting herself in. She already done put herself in there. So see, she's using federal government for her and her goons' personal gain. Basically built a criminal enterprise off of the government's funds. That's what is given. And that's what's going to make her quicksand deeper than Diddy's. Meaning time-wise. Because you just don't do that. Nah. Now, Diddy was using his own money with the stuff he was doing. But Tiffany was using the government's money, doing what she's doing. The bullying, the intimidating, the spending, the lavish trips, like the feds are beneath her. Like she called the shots to the feds. You can clearly see how she act. Yeah. So, anyway, shout out to Reality Check TV Chicago. He had boots on the ground as well for this meeting that they had in Thornton Township this past Tuesday, September the 24th. They had the Thornton Township meeting. Carmen did speak up for herself. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Carmen. Now, you did that. You spoke up for yourself like you should. She wasn't disrespectful, but like I said in my other video, you have to let Tiffany know, hell, you grown too. You are not a child. And she did just that. Yes, she did. And then shout out to Ryan Gay Chicago, because they also had great footage there. And I'm going to start checking that channel out. It's called Ryan's Gay Chicago, okay? Had good footage about this, concerning this meeting here. But let's talk about it, because Tiffany and her goons tried their hardest to bully Carmen and Gonzalez and the residents. But Carmen held her own, and Gonzalez, he held his own too. Carmen held her own with that hand. Understand me? Yes, she did. And Tiffany was shot. Carmen was on her grown woman business at this meeting. She didn't let that mud-walling hen intimidate her. She didn't let the mud-walling hen goons intimidate her. Because, see, it was one female goon of Tiffany's with red hair. We'll talk about her in a minute. Had a whole bunch of heckling and talking a whole bunch of mess to Carmen. And she be with Kamal all the time. And it's looking like, as we doing our research, she's related to Kamal. Not Tiffany. Kamal. She's connected to Kamal some type of way. Now, she can fix that shit up however she want to fix it up and say she ain't or whatever. Yeah, homegirl. It's something about you and Kamal that's connected. Very close. Either childhood friends or relatives. Because I noticed you might as well have sat in Kamal's lap, how close you was with Kamal. And this is all the time. Every meeting, she walks through that side door with Kamal. She sit with Kamal, or she stand with Kamal. If Kamal stand up, she stand up. If Kamal sit down, she sit down. If Kamal stoop down, she stoop down. It's been like that for a long, long time. So she's been coming to these meetings. She's been heckling Carmen. She's the same Raggedy Ann family that said, remember when I had her on, I did a video and I showed her saying, it's like a reneging gang member. That's her. She was there this here past Tuesday. She's always there, but this is her. It's the same Raggedy Ann, okay? But this time she was Raggedy Ann with a 2 little ass jean jacket on, okay? But that was her. So, let's get on down to what that their meeting was about. But Carmen spoke up for herself, which was good. And the dirty hen was so shocked. See, Carmen, that's what I'm talking about. See, when you show Tiffany that you on your grown woman game and you not finna let Tiffany talk to you like a child. Still be respectful, but you have to let her know, hey, I ain't no child, okay? I don't care how me and you feel about each other right now. We still own business running this township. And you're going to respect me, and I'll respect you. When I vote no, I don't need your ass in my ear talking a whole bunch of mess and telling the world and the crowd about my business and all that, or I'm going to have to check you. And that's what Carmen was doing, checking her. Like she's supposed to. There's nothing wrong with that. So, Tiffany was shocked, family, that Carmen spoke up. It shocked Tiffany. Tiffany like to fell out her chair when Carmen started talking up and getting back on her the way she should have. Tiffany had to then stand up. I'm going to stand up for this one. And she stood up trying to talk that mess. She don't be talking about nothing. Tiffany, we don't know why you be standing up and talking. Running your mouth anyway is irritable to us. Because you don't be talking about nothing. You just like a crackling hen. But anyway, let's listen to this crackling ass hen, family. This is the meeting they had Tuesday.
Today, we're talking about Rico because I know the residents really appreciate Rico.
And as y'all see through the picture, that meeting was damn near empty, okay? It really was. And which tells me, my opinion, that Tiffany and her goons damn near bullied a lot of people to not come. Because it was too empty. It was too empty. Tiffany had the majority of her goon squad there. But the regular residents who are normally trying to speak up against Tiffany wasn't there. The regulars was kind of there, the females, and we're going to talk about that too. But anyway, it was just empty. It wasn't many people there at all. And a lot of people are just scared of the goons. And once y'all see what happened to Mr. Paul, because I'm going to show that, you will understand why these seats are empty like that. And the feds really need to come in. We're going to talk about that too, because people, y'all need to start contacting the feds. You can't trust the South Highland police. My opinion, they are not doing anything. You call them, it's just like you called another one of Tiffany goons. They ain't trying to say nothing to Tiffany. They not trying to say nothing to Tiffany goons. They not trying to make things right. They not trying to de-escalate nothing. None of that. They'll walk you to your car. I seen that. They came out because the residents called South Highland police because of how the goons was challenging everybody. Come outside. Like they was going to really do something to Mr. Paul and his wife and some of the other residents. So they did call the police. But when they called the police came. The police just made sure everybody got to their cars, but they never would take reports on the threats because some of the residents were saying they threatened us. They threatened us, and I want to file a report. I'm going to press charges. Those police never did bring out one pad to write anything down for a report, which furthermore showed me that they really can't be trusted as well. That's my opinion. I'm sorry. And you know, the Dolton police, Tiffany's still over that as well. So the only help that these residents can get, is y'all need to call the FBI. The FBI is there for help. I know a lot of people are not used to calling the FBI for help, but when your police department are basically corrupt, you have no choice. And the FBI understands that. So just like you call 911, you can call FBI. Yeah. Because this is totally disturbing. So anyway, let's listen to this mud while they're here, family.
Bingo, and they want to see it continue here in Thornton Township. So I'm seeking approval from the trustees to continue bingo.
Tiffany's still trying to approve bingo, family. She still want to give away these TVs and all that. And the next video, I'm going to show y'all something about those TVs, because I ran across something that's pertaining to those damn TVs. Not for sure if this the ones Tiffany have, but it's damn sure a coincidence of what we saw, what was going on with TVs down in that area. But I just don't have time to throw that in here this time, but we will throw it in there, me and my team, the next video, okay? Yeah, Tiffany, I just want to ask a question about those TVs in this next video. But anyway, she's still trying to approve this old ragged ass bingo.
Here at Thornton Township. Is there a motion to approve bingo? Is there a motion? All right, I'd like to make a motion to approve monthly bingo for our seniors, our residents of Thornton Township. Is there a second? Trustees, do y'all not want to continue bingo?
I'll second it only for purposes of discussion.
All right, it's been motion second. Go ahead.
So I did reach out to the
Now that's karma.
because that's a big So originally, when bingo was presented, it was presented that all the prizes were donated, but that is not the case.
This
The
karma.
prizes for bingo are being purchased by Thornton Township, and now there's a question as to whether each person receiving a gift over prize over $600 should fill out a 1099 form. And so we haven't received a final answer on that, and so I think it's important until we get the final details, we call.
Now, Carmen told her that those people, she giving out all these expensive gifts, then the people supposed to be filling out a 1099 form as well, because all this stuff have to be at least reported. Tiffany looking stupid at this time.
Those things, and let's say for instance, we don't know the findings, but just ethically we have to ask ourselves questions. Should we be doing this? Yes, bingo is a great opportunity for seniors to come and to participate and have fun amongst their peers. However, there is a lot of money being spent on bingo, and what are we doing to improve our entitlement programs? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. And not only that, but seniors play a large part in the voters' base. So bingo, us canceling bingo or pausing is not neglecting the seniors, and changing the rules is not disenfranchising the seniors as well. We're just taking a moment to stop to make sure that the rules and laws are being followed. And again, I think it's important for us as trustees to make sure that we reduce any liability to Thornton Township and its employees. So we have to stop for a second and ask ourselves those questions.
Go ahead, Carmen.
So as relates to bingo, it's amazing how you guys all of a sudden, once you stop something that has been going on since I've been the supervisor at Thornton Township. Before you guys stated, hey, we don't think we can do it because it's gaming issues. So what did we do? We reached out to the gaming board, the governing board, to make sure that we did not follow every protocol possible so that residents can have. Now, today, you guys come with something else. Oh, well, they didn't fill out the 299, they didn't fill out the form, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. It's their money going back to them. What is wrong with that? How we got a problem with residents next money back?
Now, Tiffany said, now y'all talk about 1099 forms and all that. It's the residents' money anyway. So what's wrong with them getting prizes back with their own money? What? That's not how that go, you old mud-walling hen. You still have to do things right. Boy, I'm telling you, the helmet's on tight. Now y'all hear her goons clapping.
Before you guys see him call something and then he said something crucial. You said it voting on. What does that got to do with them coming, loving on each other? You even was down here with them calling out bingo numbers. So what is the problem all of a sudden that you guys are using political campaign stuff to say why you
Tiffany having a fit about bingo, as y'all hear. Bingo, 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 bingo is what they need. Bingo is what they... She said there's some people that don't even eat until they come to bingo. Now, she said that they have bingo once a month. So you mean to tell me ain't none of those seniors eating but once a month? Tiffany ought to stop lying. You know, I can't stand a pathological liar like this. You know, some of these people don't even get to eat until they come to bingo. But then she said she having bingo once a month. So they going a whole month without eating? Tiffany, you ought to stop lying. Tiffany is mad about this bingo, 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 because this is a way for her to promote her campaign of running for mayor. See, she stay in contact and stay with these seniors and keep convincing them, y'all make sure y'all vote for me. She campaigning the whole time she does bingo. She campaign on everything she do is nothing but a campaign run. She just fix it up and put a name on it. Okay? It's bingo, but really it's a campaign. Oh, it's for the youth. Really it's a campaign. Are we throwing an event at the skating rink? Really it's a campaign. For her. Trying to make sure that the people put her back in that seat. Yeah. But she bingo, 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 bingo. We so tired of hearing about bingo. I wish they take them bingo balls and just, I ain't gonna even say where I want them to put it. Anyway, let's go. Let's.
Nothing to do with problems, because guess what? Even though they had problems, they were still down here packed. It was packed. And y'all didn't come. And you would have saw that, and you would have heard from them. And then anybody down here that wanted to talk and related to bingo, you got to
Bingo.
just so you can see what I deal with.
We don't care nothing about what you did. They said no. Now,
that just say we have documentation, if they say we lying, whatever, I don't want you to say that we.
this is Robert Hunt talking. He gets up there and tell Carmen when they talking about the bingo. She said he was telling her, yes, some of the items are donated, so we don't want y'all to think that we buying these items. Just the hell y'all up. Robert, show us the receipt where they donated. Who did y'all donate it from and all that? See, Tiffany and her goons, you too, Robert, they love to tell us some shit, but they'll never bring out receipts to show us what's what. Tiffany will say in a minute, y'all was in a deficit when I got here. Now y'all about 8 million up. But she can't show us no receipts to show, for real, that they are 8 million up. Because she's lying, most likely. Okay? Because we clearly see that Dolton is damn near bankrupt. So you can't run one place magnificently and then the other place shitty. It don't work like that. The way you run one, you run the other one. If both of them was doing good, we could see why. Because she runs stuff good. But when one is trash, don't tell me that the other one is paradise. No. The same person is running it. If that's the case, the other one should be paradise. But it's not. It's damn near bankrupt. Right. Y'all get the bumper cars out, please. Hit the like button too, please.
I'm just letting you know, that might be a miscommunication, but we do have documentation that does show it.
Well, I'm just saying that's already lying. No, you're always lying. She's always lying. Now she don't want to give bingo to the people when we did it before.
Okay, you heard Carmen. Tiffany said, after Robert got through talking, Tiffany said, oh, that's because she always lying. Carmen said, no, you always lying. Yeah, that's right, Carmen. Yeah, Now, here go the next.
Let me educate everybody, since everybody don't know what's on around here. We approved Gospel Fest on August 24th of 2023. We had every single person up here, which is shocking. Even Chris Gonzalez voted for Gospel Fest today. So, Gospel Fest was supposed to happen. But unfortunately, we had a storm. That's when we had to.
Family, now Tiffany wants to do the gospel fest. For what? Is it going to be the same type of gospel fest that y'all had down there in that basement of the township where y'all had them voodoo brooms at? Dancing around brooms doing a hoodoo doodoo dance. No, we don't want it. And they was standing up there clapping and singing like they was doing a choir. And the guys had the broom was standing up by itself, and they was doing all kind of shakes. The woman, each one of them, each goon go to the broom and do the snake and do the lock, pop, and roll and all that. No, don't nobody like that type of gospel fest. No, they don't, because that's what we saw. Y'all doing the snake round the broom. Y'all doing the funky chicken, the funky hen, mud hen round that broom. Y'all was doing the split round that broom. Y'all was doing the shake round that broom. Y'all was doing the bump round that broom. No. Don't nobody want that gospel fest. But anyway, family, Tiffany trying to approve a gospel fest when she full of the devil. I'm trying to figure out how do the devil make plans for God's work. See, this shit here done got out of control, family. I'm trying to figure it out for real. How do the devil plan God's choir? Anyway, let's listen to what she said. But that's what she's trying to approve, family.
Meanwhile, and we had to change directions of what we had planned. It was already planned. It was already approved budget for.
And, well, family, y'all know I ain't been here in a week, so I'm just running my damn mouth. But I'm finna let it play on in a minute. But let me go on and say this, family. Please bear with me. Please bear with me, please. But listen, this gospel fest that she wants to throw, they had approved it in 2023. But some type of storm came and they couldn't have it. So Tiffany wants to have it now in 2024. Well, she's trying to use the approval from 2023. And the board and this lawyer, for the first time he talks, they trying to tell Tiffany, no, you got to vote on this all over again. You can't just say, oh, we having a gospel fest coming up in a couple of weeks, and it was approved in 2023. That was 2023. We got to vote again. Oh, and Tiffany saying, no, we don't, because we didn't have it then. It was a storm that hit, so it's still good, and because it was approved in 2023, it's automatically approved in 2024. No, you mud walling here, that's not how it go. This is a whole new year. We have to do a whole new vote. And anyway, like we said before, she puts a title on shit, but it's going to be a campaign run. That gospel fest ain't going to be nothing but Tiffany Henyard trying to give out everything with her name on it and trying to do a campaign run so she can get back in that seat. That's all. Tiffany, you think we stupid. We not stupid. We are not stupid at all, baby.
All of us, right? So we started because the people needed us more. And we had to make sure we made a way, and we created a FEMA shelter in the village of Dolton at the new police station. And then we also did one here in this same very space. And that's the reason why we did not have the gospel fest. So what bothers me is, why do we have to put something that's already approved by the board back on the agenda for a second approval? Because remember, it didn't pass the budget.
Because you mud walling hen, that was in 2023. You got to put it back on the agenda.
We're still working out of the same budget that the gospel fest was approved. So why is it back on the agenda for approval when you guys already approved it? Like I said, on August 24th. So why do we have to do that, sir?
It's my understanding these events are being presented.
That's the lawyer.
New event ordinance that was approved.
Okay, so if we already approved we don't have to reapprove it, correct? If the event was approved on August 24th of 2023, we don't have to reapprove?
No. What I said was these events are being presented to the board in compliance with the new event ordinance. That's my understanding.
As though it's new? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, the new event ordinance that was just put into place at one of the prior meetings within the past month or so.
Right, so, okay, I just want to make
Now, family, that's not me cutting it like that. That's just the way the audio was. But the lawyer is trying to tell Tiffany that what you're saying, it was approved in August 2023. This is September 2024. It don't carry over. They have to do another vote to have this thing. Tiffany is saying, well, since it was approved last year, and we didn't have it last year, it should carry over. Tiffany know that's not the way it go. She's just trying to be slick. That's what it is. She's trying to be slick. And she was trying to fast talk the lawyer, and he was saying, no, that's not how it go. So Tiffany don't agree with the lawyer.
I understand what you're saying, but I disagree. The event ordinance takes
See? He said he disagreed.
These events have to be approved pursuant to the event ordinance.
Okay, so I disagree with what the Lord was saying. So I put this on there because I just want to point out what we do. We go back and forth over who agree, who disagree, and then when it goes a little further, when we disagree, we go out of our comfort here, and that's how we end up in court. Because we want to say, hey, if a board approves something, how can now the board come back and say it's not approved based off of the orders? The orders just went into effect now. It's like when somebody try to go take something from you. They make it effective now. They can't go backwards. But right now,
You see how she fast talking, family?
impossible. Just like with bills. It's bills that they approved already.
You see how she fast talking? She fast talking. Yeah.
Here in the email that they gave us. Thank Robert, you forget it. But yeah, I just said it. I said y'all have a copy of it. So I don't know if y'all didn't hear me. I'll repeat it. Everybody have a copy of it because we did do our job, do our work. Okay, next on the
You say who that's from because the board never received that information.
this is from their album. Yeah, this is from the lawyers.
When did they get it? Because when I spoke to the attorney today, they said they were still looking into the memo.
It's Carmen talking.
That's why I say it. Again, you say up here that it's Thursday, August 12, 2022. Like I told you before, when we did our homework for this, we did everything. We did everything. And we got documentation stating we did everything. It said that somebody that desperate to say no to bingo. Oh my God, just stop it. Here's your evidence right here saying we can do it. I'm done.
Yeah, I spoke to the attorney today. They said they're still looking into it, so that's a false statement.
That's not a false statement. I got documentation. Documentation don't
Okay,
lie.
we're talking about September.
And I'm talking about now. That's not true. You'll say it's false. It's so sad you got so much hatred in your heart. But anyway, moving on.
And it's set up from the gaming commission.
Next is approval of bills. It's now motion to approve the general fund. Yeah, we did. That's what it said. Don't try to explain nothing. They ain't gonna get it. They ain't gonna change it. We know.
Okay, well, family, Tiffany is still in there, and that was Carmen telling her no, we're not approving it. We're not approving no bingo. Tiffany did disagree with the lawyer, but the lawyer still did things right, like he was supposed to. They came back up on this bingo thing, and Carmen and Gonzalez, Jones didn't show up. And they're going to mention why Jones didn't show up in a minute. But the thing is, Carmen and Gonzalez said no to the bingo. They was trying to tell her that the bingo commissioner, they getting in contact with them because there's certain things you have to abide by when you're doing this type of bingo thing, especially the way Tiffany is doing it with all these expensive prizes like washing machines, TVs, exercise bikes, and all this stuff. So now she's saying she got a piece of paper that shows that they have approved all that. And Carmen said, no, you giving out false information, you lying, because we contacted them, and they said they're still looking into it. So see how quick Tiffany lied? Yeah. She lied real quick.
Motion to approve the general fund. Is there a motion to pay bills?
I have an amended list that I wanted to pay on the general fund.
Okay, make sure you name what you don't want to pass.
And I'm going to name the numbers and I'll send it to the clerk.
It's not how that goes. You gotta use time. It's not.
So
Go ahead. Tiffany says a motion to pay bills. Carmen said, well, but we're going to exclude some bills. Remember the same bills that Tiffany had Robert read off. 20 minutes worth of things that Carmen and Gonzalez and them took off. Well, Tiffany said, and you going to read it. And Carlisle said, no, I'm not going to read that. I'm not going to read the list. It's the same list from last week. And then Tiffany said, it don't work like that. Carmen said, it do work like that. Yeah. Yeah.
I make a motion that we pay the general fund excluding the following: 1 through 119, which are all credit card bills, so those items are already paid, and then 6 through 252, 258. That's what I made the motion to pay all the bills excluding those numbers I mentioned, and I'll get the clerk an email of what I excluded.
Okay, let me tell you something about transfers. So what they need to do is tell y'all what they're taking away, but they never do. And that's what you should pay attention to, residents. You want to have it their way, but don't want to show you the way. And Robert Hunt, you ready to read into record what she said?
The same thing Robert read last time.
It don't matter. You're going to read it again. You should have read it because you the one took it out. So Robert,
So Tiffany had Robert read that whole thing again, and Carmen was saying it's the same thing that Robert read last time. It's the same thing. Nothing has changed. And Tiffany said, well, we still going to let Robert read it again. So Tiffany done told her dedicated flunky Robert to go up there and read the list again. I'm not putting that on their family because we already heard that list the last time Robert Hunt. It's the same exact list, okay? So we skipping that part.
come on, Robert. Let's read. Read what they're taking out once again. Hey, that's right.
I make a motion to end discussion and call a vote.
Second.
Go ahead, Robert. Go ahead, Robert.
So Robert read the list like a dedicated flunky, okay?
This is 85. Is that a motion to pay the general assistance?
I would like to make an amended motion to pay a few things excluding a few items.
All right. You can make the motion to take whatever you want out, but again, I keep telling y'all, so I tell y'all, let me educate you. Those items are strictly supervised. Supervisor is over the GA department. I don't know if I keep telling y'all that. But go ahead, do what you want.
Yes, you are, but it's with the past budget and we don't have that in
We
place
got right
right now.
now, there was still work. Y'all keep saying pass, but y'all won't pass the budget. So stop. Y'all have to do y'all job. Stop kicking the can down the road. Stop. Y'all gotta grow up. Like, stop keep saying
Grow up? You need to grow up.
Pass the budget. Other than that, we still operate off the old budget. So that means you have a budget in place to still do the will of the people and pay the bills. Because GA, for those that don't know, is a service department. So when you come and ask us to pay your light, your gas, your water, your mortgage, your rent, bury loved ones, where you get medicine, that's what GA is all about. Food pantry. When you need food, residents see it, delivered to your house. That's what GA is.
And you know, Tiffany always talking about how all these funds is to help people with pay their light, pay their water, pay their gas, pay their burial. Where people need, they help bury people for. Tiffany, did you help pay for the burial of Alexis Wilson? I'll wait. See, Tiffany lied too damn much. Because if she helps with burial, why didn't she pay for Alexis Wilson burial that her police goons took Alexis' life? So see, you could tell when Tiffany lying. They need to ask Tiffany, show us one burial that the township has done. Show us some burials that the village has done. Show us some burials that township and the village has paid for. We want to see how many burials that Tiffany has paid for, because she quick to keep saying that. I've noticed she always saying, hey people, you know, they trying to take out all these funds for paying y'all light bill, paying y'all water bill, and we help with burial and all that. We wants to see some receipts on where Tiffany has helped with burials. How many, Tiffany? Because you're lying. I ain't seen you put on a black dress yet on your social media and show us that you paid for a burial. She will show us about the taste of trash that she have. She'll show us that old ice skate rink. Oh, we doing this. Look what I'm doing for the people. She has never thrown on her social media and showed us with her in a black dress saying, see, we pay for burials. You lying ass mud waddling hen, you. Anyway, get the bumper cars out, please. I need extra bumper cars.
We already gave our word when you came here and saw us, and we said we're gonna pay your light bill. Then they get on here and say, well, we ain't over to pay nothing. They did that before. And guess what I mean? Still pay it. Because at the end of the day, that is solely the supervisor. I pay anything in GA. Like, stop. But we get up here and do this show because it's political theater for you guys. Okay? All right, go ahead. Say what you're gonna say. That's all.
All right, excluding, I make a motion to pay the bills except the following items: 1, 14, and 43.
Hold on, Robert, what is the items? Since she don't want to read it to the record, what's the items, Carl? What's the items? It's 3 items, I could have just read them.
Carmen ain't studying that here.
All right, what's the order number pay, Robert? Let's talk to the people.
All right, number 1, Power Parks LLC, $8,745, tax refund software. Number 14, citation.
That's another thing. We ain't hearing that.
The image ordinance, and so I did reach out to them asking them, can we see what would be printed? No one ever responded to me. If they did, I mean, at a later date, I didn't get it. But again, we just have to make sure that the things that we put in order, the laws that we put in place are being followed.
Okay, now they clapping for Carmen because Carmen just mentioned to the hen about we are buckling down on all these boxes that you have in print out with these food boxes with your name on it, and all these flyers with your name on it, all these book bags with your name on it, and all that. So we reaching out to the people to tell them there is no longer to print none of that stuff without our approval. Now the hen done got mad, family. The hen mad as hell. Yes, she is.
Y'all are not in charge of anything, so please stop with the antics when we come here to these board meetings. I am the leader for Thornton Township. I am the supervisor of Thornton Township. And I'm going to make sure y'all give me my respect and stop playing these games. Because all these games need to stop. When I came to Thornton Township, and let's be crystal clear, I'm saying for this, so we can get y'all.
Oh, she done stood up, family. Since they have a surplus, Tiffany, let us see the receipts, please. No, you ain't gonna do that because you're lying. That's all she do is lie. Wow. Now, Mr. Gonzalez told Tiffany, since you saying all this and all that, show us the receipt to show us that we're in so much of this good shape and this and that. Tiffany said, I'll show it to y'all tomorrow if you come to the meeting tomorrow. She got a little special township talk that she does. She told them she'll show them the receipts there. No, when you say stuff like that, you're supposed to have that paperwork with you. Because you know it comes up every meeting. So why not have it? Because she don't have it. Because she's sitting there lying, like always, while she calling everybody else a liar. See, you have to watch people that's always calling other people a liar, but they lie clean through their teeth, smoothly.
First of all, we don't know the full amount. Second of all, I think it's inappropriate if it's not for this current year, which I run this program, so I know there's no way to do it for this year. It would be next year, and there's a good possibility that you're not going to be here. So,
So now what they doing, family, they have told Tiffany, they have put on the thing that they want to change all that. She keeps like a $300,000 salary, but the next person only gets $25,000. They wants to change it to this next election coming up. Even if she do get in that seat, she's not gonna be making that 300-something thousand. She's gonna make what's supposed to be made, around about $30,000 or $40,000 a year. Okay, probably a little bit more, but a damn sure won't be that 300-something thousand. Okay, now she cutting up. Okay. You ain't gonna get in that seat, Tiffany. You going to jail. They're going back and forth, family. That's why it sounds like that, because Carmen is speaking up now. Every time that hen gets stank and shake with Carmen getting back stank and shake. Okay? Carmen is saying it in a good way, but she is not letting those degrading remarks towards her slide anymore. Appreciate that, Carmen, because you are grown and you got to show that you know how to handle those municipalities. Because if you're a trustee, you have to be able to handle the city you working for or the village you working for. You have to be able to hold your ground and stand your ground. You can't let nobody just basically punk you out. Okay? You have to do it in a professional way, but you also have to let them know, hey, look here, you're just not going to be talking to me any kind of way. And every time you throw something at me, I'm going to throw it back, but in a respectful way. But I'm not going to be silent and just keep ingesting this disrespect all the time. So that's where you hear all that. That's her and Carmen going back at it. Carmen is not being silent anymore.
Yes, but I still gotta make sure all the things y'all gonna get, which is your food boxes and also the tax refund. We'll still look for it. All right, is there a motion?
So this is the attorney, you can ask the attorney.
Trustee, y'all gonna need to roll.
There's currently on the floor a motion and a second to approve a retainer agreement with LDS. So when discussion is concluded, we have a roll call vote regarding that. There's counsel here from LDS who can probably answer some questions that the board may have.
All right, go ahead, LDS.
Good afternoon, Mr. Board. There is not a default judgment entered in this matter.
Now, this is a lawyer that came up to the podium, and he talked about the municipality has a lawsuit against them. That's why Jones is not there. Gerald Jones. Gerald Jones' son, from what they were saying, is suing the township. Okay? He's suing the township, Jerry Jones' son. And it looks like he's suing the township for retaliation and all that. So they were supposed to go to court for it, and Tiffany and them didn't go to court for Gerald Jones' son case. So the judge pushed it back until I think October, and he said if Tiffany and them don't come to court by October regarding this case, then they're going to automatically grant Jerry Jones' son that judgment of some millions. Okay? What happened in there, they never said. They was just saying that's what this lawsuit is about. So there's lawyers trying, so Tiffany is trying to tell her board that they got a default and they are ordered to pay the millions. And the lawyer that came to the meeting is saying, no, y'all don't have a default yet, but if y'all don't answer by October, next month, then y'all will have a default. Well, Tiffany lied again, like always, she lied. She was trying to tell the board that they have to pay the millions like now because they was in a default. So why is Tiffany trying to get those millions early from the board, have them approve the millions, saying that it was a default judgment that they owe, but then the lawyers say, no, y'all not in default yet. Y'all will be in default in October. So that's when they caught Tiffany in a lie, and then she gets mad. I'm talking about this girl is slick. Yes, she is.
So what was that $3 million paperwork we got?
So that's what she's talking about now.
The judge put it over until the October 31st date.
Okay, so you got to extend it back. So we got a default for 3 million. I know I saw that because my team showed it to me, and now it's extended for the day. Okay, that's right. There you guys. So
she said her team showed her that they got a default judgment of about $3 million or something like that. But then that lawyer gonna bust her out, not the one that's sitting next to her, the one that comes who's handling that case. He stands at the podium and say, no, y'all not in default. So that's when the trustees, Gonzalez and Carmen, realize she's lied again, and the residents realize she lied again by saying.
So,
No, go ahead.
So, no, go ahead, please.
So I guess it kind of goes back to my previous question. So you've been working on this case already?
No, I have.
Okay. So that's because there was no representation?
That's because we have not been retained, so I cannot do it.
Well, that's kind of what I was getting at. Okay. But so right now, there is not a default, like the supervisor had said.
That's right. There is no default.
just told you it was a default.
See, everybody laughing. He said Gonzalez is asking the man at the podium, the lawyer. He said, so right now we don't have a default. He said, no, y'all don't have a default right now, but y'all will in October if you don't answer. So that's why I'm here to see if y'all want to answer it, and then it won't be a default. You see what I'm saying? Then Tiffany's going to still say in front of that lawyer, that man at the podium face, it is a default. And he's saying, no, it's not a default. So see, Tiffany's trying to swindle them $3 million.
It was a default for $3 million. We got the paperwork, and we did not have anybody to represent the township. He just told you that he went in court and, well, got it pushed back, right?
No, actually, he just said he has to pay for it.
If I can clarify, the plaintiff's attorney filed what's called a default motion, which means that you were served, and you didn't show up, and he asked for a $3 million judgment. I did not appear, but the judge continued over to October 31st, and if you don't file something at that point, I assume that the plaintiff's attorney will file that motion again, and quite frankly, the judge might grant it.
So, in other words, you're saying if we wanted to table this until our October meeting,
Excuse me,
board meeting, or the first board meeting in October.
When would the board?
I think it's October 8th, I believe, it's the second Tuesday.
I would think October 8th. Why would we retain an attorney, whether myself or someone else? I think within 3 weeks they serve sometime. So the answer to your question is yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll do.
So see, Carmen asked the man. She said, so then when do it go into default? When do we have to answer? And he said, you have to answer by October, the end of October. So Carmen said, so we can wait until like October the 8th till our next meeting. And then if we let us table it now, discuss it, then October the 8th, we'll be able to decide, who we going to get to answer this thing or whatever. And the man said, yeah, that's fine. Now Tiffany hollered, why y'all want to table it? Because she was trying to get a hold to that 3 meal early. Why is that? Right. Why is that, Tiffany?
It's a motion second, call roll.
Trustee Carlisle?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez? Yes. Supervisor?
Yes. Agenda is there a motion to conduct a forensic /investigation of Keith Freeman's credit card and Carmen Carlisle use of said card? Is there a motion?
Okay, so Tiffany is now putting up a motion that she wants to have Keith Freeman credit card investigated and Carmen's credit card investigated. Remind y'all, she is the one that was telling them to do most of the spending off those credit cards for her. So now she calls herself is going to bring in an investigator to show that Keith and Carmen are the ones who spent a lot of that money. But they were spending it for her. See how she's finna throw Keith Freeman and Carmen and the rest of them up under the bus? It won't be long before she throw the rest of the goons. But I'm saying, Tiffany's actually saying, I'm going to call in an investigation to investigate Keith Freeman's credit card and Carmen Carlisle's credit card. She's knowing that it's going to show that they did a hell of a lot of spending. But what she's not saying is most of the 98% of that spending was for her. But because she didn't touch the credit cards, she can make it look like it was all because of them. Wow. So, listen to what Carmen says.
Is there a second? Then motion second, any discussion?
Yes. So I want to say, unlike Supervisor Henyard, I am happy to talk about any investigation. I welcome any investigation about any expenditure in Thornton Township's finances. I have no problem in sitting down and talking to an investigator about any of the purchases I made on behalf of Thornton Township for Supervisor Henyard and the multiple trips I booked for her, the expensive the hotel fees, the first class flights, the expensive dinners, the different amenities that she received that were provided to Township residents. And yes.
So, you hear Carmen saying, I'm going to let y'all finish hearing it. Carmen said, yes, I welcome an investigation into the credit cards that I spent and Keith Freeman spent, because the majority of it was for you and your lavish trips and your fine dine dinners and your big old hotel rooms, luxury rooms and all that. Yes, please bring on the investigation, because I'm so willing to tell investigators what we spent it on and why we spent it, because it was for you. Listen to that, Carmen. Now Tiffany looking stupid because Carmen know exactly what Tiffany is trying to do.
As you stated, I was her assistant, so I was on many of those trips. I was told by her to make sure she had 2 trips booked a month, nothing under 3 or 4 days. And I think that anybody who wants to know, any investigator who has any questions, should have any information about any trip, including but not limited to the shirts, the paraphernalia flyers, and the promotional items that have been paid for with her face and her image on it by Thornton Township, details about her transportation, the travel plans, and information about her security that she demanded to go with her everywhere she went. I welcome any investigation into any expenditure involving Tiffany Henyard and Keith Freeman's credit card. And I'm sure that to answer any questions about this too, because again, we're open to being honest and transparent about anything that we've done for Thornton Township. And not to mention that Tiffany Henyard wasn't the only person person that benefited, but, you know, Mr. Woods was there, and many other people were there on that first trip, and I'll be happy to discuss any of this about to anybody. And again, I think since we're talking about it, Lori Lightfoot did such a great job in Dolton.
What?
The same thing here at Thornton Township. So yes, I would like to have an investigation. I'll sit down and answer any question about any trip. I'll vote on behalf of Supervisor here as her assistant. Yes.
So Carmen said, I will vote on you investigating my credit card, and I'm quite sure Keith Freeman wouldn't mind either, because they got a lot of info about what was spent, why it was spent, and who ordered it to be spent, and who was on the trips too. And Carmen said, and I'd be glad to tell him that Kamal was along on the trips as well. Yes. And she said she liked the investigation that Miss Lori Lightfoot did, and she would love for Miss Lori Lightfoot to come over there and do the investigation.
So, let me make sure that I got this correct.
What?
Hugley was not my assistant here in Thornton Township, so why are you using Thornton Township credit card? So that's number one. Number two, let's talk about your entanglement with Keith Freeman.
What?
Open the door so everyone knows what's going on with Thornton Township. And we don't tell it, we don't tell the truth.
Now, Tiffany said, let's talk about your entanglement with Keith Freeman. Okay. Tiffany, you want to try to talk about Carmen and Keith's so-called alleged entanglement. Why you won't tell us about you and Kamal entanglement? And why Kamal is making $100,000 a year for a youth program that we never see a youth or damn program. Tell us about that entanglement. That's what we want to know. Yeah.
So when you at the top, you get all these bums looking for crumbs attacking you every time. And it's sad because she went on a trip, Keith Freeman went on a trip, and everybody want to attack people. But what did y'all do on a trip? Please, inquire your minds. Please tell me. So all I'm saying to everybody is stop trying to make it like it's something bad. And I just want to clear it up for those that don't understand. We have a budget for travel. I've said this several times. Y'all can keep on putting in the cameras on the news. Everyone travels. We even for other towns just to show you that every single person travels in their communities. And when you go, you should learn something, because at the end of the day, you have to educate yourself on how to run government and what to do as it relates to government. And it's said that people have to take it and twist it for bad because people was around because they ain't going to trouble.
Yes, every city official do travel, like a mayor. Sometimes trustees travel about 2 times out of the year, but they going to travel to try to bring business back to their city, okay? But the thing is, they don't spend $20,000, $30,000 a trip. They don't spend the taxpayers $20,000, $30,000 worth of taxpayers' money on a trip and then don't bring nothing back, don't have nothing to show for it. They just splurging. No, it don't work like that, Tiffany. No. You tell that lie to somebody else.
I have 2 questions. I don't know if this was just a on here so you show them, but who's providing the service and how much is it going to cost?
Well, just like we're going to do everything else that's on the agenda, we're going to put it out for bid. And we're going to make sure we do it the right way so that someone can actually come in and say, hey, first we got to get approval so we can move forward, right? Make up your mind. You got to go first and put it on our trustee. That we just asked the question, right? First, you just asked us to put things on the agenda so we be transparent. When I do put it on the agenda, then it's the opposite. Why you put it on your first? Why you put it out to your first? Which one y'all want me to do? I am getting confused.
Give us numbers.
Excuse me, I would like to say something. The initial agenda, that was funny. I know this is put on the agenda because of our closed session item. So when we got the original agenda, this wasn't on there. But when she saw what we put for closed session, she added this, which again, I'm open to any investigation about anything I did as her assistant. But as her assistant, one thing she always said to everybody who worked for her, and there's a bunch of people that can attest to you, when you work for Tiffany, you work for her brand. You don't work for an entity. That's what she always told us. So I was demanded to work 7 days a week, almost 18 to 20 hours a day. And I'll get a chance to talk about that. That's not the time or place, but for her to sit here and say that, I wasn't her assistant and why I spending money on behalf. Excuse me,
Now, it's a lady, and you'll hear Carmen say, "Who are you?" That is a lady keep interrupting every time Carmen talk. That is the Raggedy Ann heckler, okay, family? That's the Raggedy Ann. I'll show y'all a little Raggedy Ann in a minute. She's sitting right next to Kamal, Tiffany's boyfriend. That's the Raggedy Ann that said in one of the other meetings, said, "Carmen, you like a reneging gang member," okay? That's the Raggedy Ann that's now heckling Carmen every time Carmen talks. Carmen then asked the woman, "Who are you?" Because the lady just kept on dogging Carmen from the back of the room. But she's standing with Kamal. And I'll show y'all that in a minute. There she go. That's the one that keeps heckling Carmen. That's the Raggedy Ann, the redhead Raggedy Ann with the two little jean jacket on. She kept heckling Carmen every time Carmen talked. Okay? So that's her. And that's when Carmen said, "Who are you? I know you Tiffany friend." And Carmen kept telling Tiffany, "You like to say order, you're out of order to everybody else, but this chick here keeps heckling and keeps cutting me off, and you're not saying nothing about your homegirl." Carmen clearly said that. She said that in here. She did. That's the chick talking back and forth to Carmen. Now, Carmen is the one saying, "Security, security, security, please shut this girl up. Security, give me my respect." But you see, security is sitting here. He is a part of the goon squad. He is scared of the goon squad. She is part of the goon squad. There's Tiffany friend. She's very connected to Kamal. Kamal's seat is empty right now, but I'll show y'all Kamal sitting in his chair in a minute. Okay? But every meeting, she walks in with Kamal. Kamal stand up, she stand up. Kamal sit down, she sits down. Kamal walk off, she'll walk off a little bit, then go back. But she sticks with Kamal like glue on shit. Okay? Yes. So that's her. And Carmen is saying security, but security won't move and won't shut the lady up. Because he's scared. And you will see this guy here in this shirt. He started, this is Mr. Paul's wife. Mr. Paul is sitting over here on this end. That's Mr. Paul right here. Okay, as you will see, the goons started surrounding Mr. Paul and his wife. You had that goon sitting in the front of Mr. Paul. You see right here. He's sitting in the front of Mr. Paul. He was standing in the back with Kamal and Raggedy Ann. Okay? But then when he knew it was time, getting close to residents saying their comments at the podium, they started sitting around, like forming a square around Mr. Paul and his wife, because they knew Mr. Paul was going to stand up and start talking. Okay? So they setting up perimeter around Mr. Paul. I noticed that. Okay? And this is another security guard who keeps standing over Mr. Paul and his wife. And that's one of Tiffany goons right here. Okay? So let me let y'all hear. Okay, now.
department is something that we feel is necessary at the township. I feel like we're lacking the accountability, and I think based on what's going on in the climate of things, I think it would be very important to have people that focuses on accountability, that's separate and independent of the supervisor's office. I have been reaching out to people at the state level to see if they can, assist us with creating that department, and even reach out to.
Now, Carmen is now talking about them starting an accountability program. There is a company that has an accountability program, meaning they will bring somebody up and they will hire this accountability firm or a program. It's not a firm, it's a program. And these people will come in and hold everybody accountable for wrongdoing. Okay? And Tiffany ain't digging that. And so that's what she's saying now. Carmen said, we put on the agenda to start an accountability program. And if anybody get caught doing anything wrong, they will have to be held accountable for it. Okay? Now, as you see, I was telling y'all about the perimeter. This is Mr. Paul's wife again. This is that goon with dreads. Then you will see Keith Price moves in the front now. This is Keith Price's head. So see how they started moving in perimeters. First, the predator, he sat down. Now I'm talking about the predator, the monster predator with the long dreads. Okay, that's what he looked like to me. So first he sits down, and then a few minutes later, here come Keith Price, and he sits down. So they started forming a perimeter around Mr. Paul and his wife. I noticed that. Yeah, you can't get nothing past me. And that's when they tried to jump Mr. Paul. Listen.
Senator Harris's community affairs manager to see if he'd be willing to do a summit and host it here at the township to be able to talk and answer questions for any resident that may have questions. But again, accountability is lacking, and that's our goal as trustees to make sure that everybody has to be accountable for the things that are going on in the township. So we're in the process of implementing it. We don't have to think it's important just to let the community know what direction we're going in.
So that's what they talked about, that accountability. So that was basically it, family. But now I want to show y'all that it got time for the residents to talk, and Mr. Paul got up there and he started talking. And this is what happened when Mr. Paul went up there to talk. Okay? And this is what I wanted to show y'all too. See, this chick stays with Kamal like flies on Dookie. So, a lot of people are saying she's related to Tiffany. Now, you might want to check, and you might find something different between her and Kamal. Either childhood good friends or related. Okay? She can say what she want to say. We talking about what is given and what we looked at. Okay? So, yes. So, this woman here is the one that was heckling Carmen the whole time. That's the Raggedy Ann that said, "You're like a reneging gang member," a couple of months back when we did that video. Okay, so that's her. So I just wanted to show y'all that her and Kamal sticks together like glue. Okay? That's Tiffany's homegirl. And that's the one that kept threatening Carmen as Carmen was talking. Now, check out what they did to Mr. Paul while he was up there trying to talk.
This is my way to say the residents of Thornton Township can no longer.
Now, this is Michael. Michael Smith. Now look at Kamal. Look at Kamal. They trying to fight Mr. Paul. He trying to come up there. They gonna surround him. Look at Michael. Check it out now. Okay. Look at the predator dude. Now look at the security man not even trying to stop it. Neither one of the security. Now, as y'all see, they surrounded Mr. Paul. And they wanted to jump Mr. Paul. Y'all saw Kamal jump up, headed his way. Raggedy Ann kind of stepped in front of Kamal, like let Michael and the other dreadhead handle him and things like that, okay? Keith Price also got up, and at this time, Tiffany is sliding out the back door because she don't want to be a witness to them jumping on Mr. Paul, but she knows it's her authorization and she has no problems with her goons doing this because, remind you, they do this all the time. This is what they do. So you can see how Mr. Paul just goes up there and talks. He said something about an elephant having good sense because elephants have good brains. Then he said something about another animal, and he was saying it's like feeding that animal or whatever. And they jumped up talking about it was disrespectful because he was using examples of an animal. Well, Cafe, called Tiffany a mud-walling hen all the time. And they don't say nothing in my comment. They know better. They know better. See, they pick the weakest link at the beginning. When they saw Mr. Paul coming there and it wasn't too many people, wasn't no men there, like normal that's on the Mr. Paul's side and things like that, a lot of people didn't come to this meeting. They saw Mr. Paul, the Caucasian man, was the weakest link, they felt like. So I showed y'all the perimeter that they had already set around Mr. Paul. This was all planned. Tiffany knew it. That's why she slid out the door. They didn't adjourn the meeting or nothing. She slid out the door because she don't want to be a witness to Mr. Paul being jumped. Even though she knew that that was the plan the whole time, she authorized it. My opinion, because that's the way they roll. I looks at behavior. We've been doing Tiffany for a long, long time now. And this is how her goons operate. So this furthermore shows y'all that they have taken over the village. They have taken over the township. Residents can't even talk without being threatened, intimidated, or getting ready to be jumped on. And they were serious as hell. And they kept telling Mr. Paul and his wife to come outside. They really wanted to hurt him. But they didn't. They stayed on the inside and called the South Harlem police, which, like I said earlier, when they came, they didn't do a damn thing. They just made sure that the people got to their cars. They didn't try to fill out a report on threats or nothing. But anyway, finished looking at how they surrounded Mr. Paul. And I'm trying to figure out why is all the ladies, shout out to the ladies, shout out to Miss Vivian, all of Miss Mary was there. All these ladies stood up, and Mr. Paul's wife stood up and was like, y'all not finna touch him. Y'all not finna touch Mr. Paul. Where are the men in this damn town? Men, we're gonna need y'all to stand up. Put on y'all suspenders or something. This is unreal. See, they always talk about how black women hold things down. Black women are protectors for every doggone body. Where are the men? Where are the men? This township has over 12 municipalities. Where are the men? Where are the men? Men, y'all need to put on y'all suspenders or something and get some spunk or something. But it just shows how many people are scared of these goons. But the females are not. Everybody talk about these same females being there, but they holding it down for a whole damn. They holding it down for the township and the village. They be at the village meetings and they be at the township meetings, and they holds it down. Not down, down. They go up against Tiffany goons, women. And our baby girl right here, she have cancer. Remember Tiffany her wigs. Tiffany, where them damn wigs at? Because you still ain't gave her wigs that you promised her. But the thing is, they stand up. They stand up. Please put some claps in the chat for our sisters who stand up. They stands up to these goons. They protecting everybody who they feel need protected. Who protecting them? Where the men at? This is totally disturbing. Where's the FBI? It's enough evidence by now. It is totally enough evidence by now. You heard Mr. Burt say something about, oh yeah, the feds just arrested one of the other, city officials throughout Chicago who swindled $100,000. $100,000? Tiffany done went through millions and ain't went nowhere yet. Who is protecting this woman? They waiting on somebody to die? This man literally, Mr. Paul, almost got messed up Tuesday night. If these women wasn't here, Mr. Paul would have been messed up. And his wife. Unbelievable. Look how they surrounded Mr. Paul. But the ladies are coming. They the protectors. Look at this old bootleg ass security right here. Look how they standing behind Mr. Paul. They ready to do something to that man. This Mr. Paul's wife right here. And look at this bootleg ass security. He was gonna let it go down too. It was all a plan. And this footage right here was Ryan Gay Chicago. Shout out. And look at Keith Price holding on to the security guard, because the security guard, he ruled the security guard. Yes, she did. This Miss Mary over here. And you see Sir Steak a lot. Now, Keith Price said what Mr. Paul said sounded racist when he was talking about the elephant, the animals. Well, I call that mud wallin' hen all the time. Ain't nothing racist about that. I refer her as a hen, a crackling hen, a mud wallin' hen, a stank hen, a backyard hen, a backyard Barbie hen. She's a hen. Quack, quack, quack. Hen. A stank hen. Ain't nothing racist about that. They just wanted to jump that man. That's what that was. They picked the weakest link out the crowd. So now we see why a lot of those chairs was empty, because this is what they get if they even try to speak, the residents. They get bullied, they get intimidated, and understand me. Tiffany and her goons saw Channel 7 in there. They saw local media news in there. And they still act this way. So what do that tells you when cameras are not showing? And the feds haven't picked this woman up yet. The governor has not told this woman to step down yet. Kwame, Attorney General, has not told this woman to step down yet. What are they waiting on? A tragedy? We see this is a tragedy in itself. And it's given because of the color of their skin. Nobody gives a fuck. Excuse me, family, I got heated. Let me calm down. Finish watching the rest of this. Okay, family. So my thing is, the people of the 12 municipalities and the people of the village of Dolton need to contact the FBI. Every last one of the residents need to contact the FBI about this dangerous behavior and threats and harmful criminal actions being dumped on them, being placed on them on government property. This building is government property. And they can't even say comments without somebody getting ready to jump them, without Tiffany goons. Are we serious right now? And Keith Price want to say something about it was prejudice for Mr. Paul to refer to the elephant and another type of animal or whatever like that. No. What's prejudice is looking like to me is that black people are being over 20,000 more than that. That's just in the village. It's more than that in those 12 municipalities. And I tell you, it's looking like because of the color of their skin, nobody cares. It's looking prejudiced to me. Because I'm just wondering if these people was a whole nother ethnic group, would Tiffany be going this long? Would they let the residents be in hardship and intimidation this long? I'm just asking a question. Because this is very suspect for the world. I have people from across the waters, Australia, London. Shout out to all our subscribers and our viewers from across the waters and other countries. They are tuning into this. They are saying, what is going on? Why is it taking so long? Why isn't the governor, the attorney, nobody is stepping in? It's almost like, damn them. What? This is the most dangerous situation the world has witnessed, coming from a mayor with a supervised title as well. And she approved and authorized this dangerous goon tactic. Because if she didn't approve it, she wouldn't have slid out that side door. See, she would have been a mayor that sees this, a supervisor that sees this, is supposed to say, hold on, oh no. Hey, I'm finna call the police. You leave out of here. You stay in here until the police get here. Nah. It was all in the plan. This is how Tiffany operates her goons. She said she dressed up like Nino Brown. That's how she operates this joint. This was a plan. But all the women stood up. She slid out that slide door. So she couldn't be a witness to Mr. Paul getting jumped on or hurt, or any other resident to get hurt. Tiffany said one time, guys, calm down. One time. That was to make it look good. Then she slid out that slide door. But her goons knew what Tiffany meant when Tiffany said, guys, calm down. That really means do what you do. Tiffany was laughing the whole time that her Raggedy Ann hen with the two little jean jacket on was heckling and messing and threatening Carmen. She was laughing the whole time sitting there. People need to send this video to the FBI. The sad part is the local news media was there and they didn't even show this clip and report on this clip. Not show it and act like they didn't fucking see it. Show it and report on how this man almost was attacked if it wasn't for them black women. They haven't done it yet. What are y'all there for? What is the news there for? Just to hear motion pass, motion fail. Motion pass, motion fail. News media is supposed to report this quickly. When news see some type of accident happen, they the first on the scene. When they hear it's been some type of pow somewhere, they run into the scene to try to talk to witness. They ain't ran up to this not one time. I watched the whole thing until this guy here turned it off and he went outside with it. Not a news media asked not one question to the people, to Mr. Paul and his wife right there who almost got attacked. Wow. Only thing they'll say, it was chaos in Dolton. In the township. And then they, y'all go check it out. Punch it in. Tiffany Henyard. They'll show this meeting, but they talking about what Carmen and Gonzalez didn't pass and what the supervisor wanted to pass, Tiffany wanted to pass, but it didn't pass, and what she thought. But they did not focus on the danger of this meeting right here. And if you see it, family, send it to me. I ain't seen it yet. I'm talking about report on this. I seen little clips that they were showing Mr. Paul getting surrounded, and they cut it off, and then they started saying, oh, well, this didn't pass, and this here motion didn't pass. They ain't said nothing about this. Why is that? Anyway, I don't want this video. It's already almost 2 hours. Let me go ahead on and go to something else right quick. Because I wanted to talk about this that just pissed me off. Y'all need to go to the FBI quick, fast, and in a hurry. Y'all need to call them. Residents down there, there's nothing wrong with calling them because you can't trust your local police at all. You really can't. These South Holland police showed up here. They didn't do nothing but walk people to the cars to make sure that people was okay. You know what I'm saying? That's basically all they did, was just made sure that they was okay. And, you know, like, make sure they walk to their cars and they okay or something like that. But people, y'all need to call the FBI for real. In that village and in that township. Because the local police is there can't be right now. The goons control them as well. That's what it's given. You know? And that's Mr. Paul and his wife walking out. And it was other ladies. And it was basically ladies making sure that Mr. Paul and his wife got in their car safely. But the goons was constantly threatening them. But, you know, the other ladies held it down. Point blank, period. But that's a little Raggedy Ann there. Okay, so let me say something about Diddy right quick, because I'm going to have to run through this. But everybody already know by now, I was out for that week for my birthday. Thank y'all so much again. But P. Diddy was arrested September the 16th. And I'm still trying to figure out why Diddy didn't take his play cousin Tiffany to the slammer with him. Because, like I said, she well overdue. But Diddy, please save her seat, because she coming very, very soon. Yes, she is. But this week here, Diddy got a new lawsuit as well. But, you know, before Diddy was arrested, he was in Central Park chilling, taking selfies, and he also took some photos with some fans and things like that before he got arrested, and then he got arrested, okay? You'll see that it says his intensifying allegations, okay? So, he was arrested, and he has a new lawsuit. He also asked for bail, and he said that he was willing to give up his private plane, his mansion, his kid's passport, just for a bail plea. But the judge denied all that, okay? Yes, he did. So you will see this Williams, one of the district attorneys, said evidence of the FOs, y'all know what I'm saying, I'm going to have to abbreviate a lot of this stuff, included more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant that were used during the force essay, an electronic device that contains images and videos of the FOs with multiple victims. Okay? Additionally, 3 AR-15s with the serial numbers defaced and large capacity drum magazines that go 59 rounds. These were allegedly brandished to intimidate victims into participating in FOs, okay? Then it says, Williams says agents found a firearm in Combs' bedroom closet in his Miami home. Okay? They also said that the government wanted to keep Combs detained while he awaits his ST trial. U.S. Attorney Damian Williams said on Tuesday. So they're going to keep him in there. They don't want to let him go. They're not going to let him go is what they're saying. And they said that he's a risk. He's a flight risk. And he obstructing justice as well because he keep contacting the victims. Okay? And you will see there it says he's already tried to obstruct the government's case by repeatedly contacting victims and witnesses and feeding them false narratives of the events. Okay? And then you will see these are what they say he could face. And it says Combs is charged with 3 federal crimes, 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, which carries a maximum sentence of life in prison, 1 count of ST by force, fraud, or coercion, which carries a maximum sentence of life in prison, and a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years in prison. Then the other count he got, because he got 3 counts, 1 count of transportation for a purpose of, street walking, which carries a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison. Okay? Now, it says that, they said that he orchestrated a criminal enterprise through his business empire that engaged in ST, forced labor, kidnapping, and decades of physical abuse against women, among other allegations, okay? So, and a lot of people say, well, kidnapping, and you have to understand that what they're saying is that some people were saying, when Diddy flies a person out, like if he say, hey, come visit me for the weekend, that person come for the weekend, but they're not knowing. That's where the P2tion come in at. Y'all know what I'm talking about that. But like the girl comes in thinking they gonna spend like the weekend with Diddy, but Diddy already made plans for about 3 or 4 guys to be there at the same time to get a little piece of this woman that's coming. But this woman is thinking that he's flying her to him for them to be together. But then when that person gets there, they wind up getting a Mickey or something in their drink where they lose consciousness or too incoherent to approve any type of activities, and then everybody do something with that woman. Then when that woman realizes what happens and wants to go home, say if Diddy, I'm just giving y'all an example, and then say if Diddy say, well, now you ain't going home this weekend, I ain't sending you back, I'll send you back next weekend, but that person want to go back then, that's considered kidnapping, okay? And it's considered trafficking, because you done brought this person in, and that person thinking that she might be with you, but then 3, 4 more others get involved in it, okay? And then the person that you flew in is all drugged out or whatever because of little powders and Mickeys and stuff that's in their drinks. So they stay incapacitated, So that's where a lot of that is coming from, is what they're saying there, okay? But they said that Diddy he has to remain in federal custody, held without bail, with his next court appearance scheduled for October the 9th, okay? Wow. Now, this is the chick who just laid down this is a new chick that she's laid down a lawsuit. She's saying that Diddy and his head of security tied her and violently did some things to her and put some of those knockout things in her drink, okay? This is where they say right here. They say Sean Diddy Combs and his former bodyguard accused of dropping stuff in folks' drinks and doing the unthinkable in 2001 to this chick, okay? This is the chick that says that this happened to her. Okay? Now, she said this happened to her. Then, you'll see right here, it says in court papers filed Tuesday, Graves, that's a chick, accused Cone and ex-security head Joseph Sherman of mercilessly doing the, unthinkable to her inside the Bad Boys record studio in Manhattan, okay? And said the two men lured her there when she was 25 at the time and dating one of Combs' employees into the studio where they gave her a drink likely laced with a substance that caused her to briefly lose consciousness, the lawsuit alleges. Okay? So that's what this chick here is saying, that's what happened to her, and that they tied her up and did all that, okay? She said that it caused her a lot of trauma, a lot of disorder, depression, anxiety, and all that. And she says, I'm emotionally scarred, and she was crying and all that, okay? So she said, I'm glad that Combs is locked up, but that is a temporary feeling of relief, she said. Okay? Okay. Well, I want y'all to check this out, because this is what I want to say, because I've been hearing a lot of people that was saying, I've been hearing some men and women that was saying, well, what's wrong with him flying a chick out and having hanky-pank with her and flying a guy out, and maybe he wants to have fun with a guy, What's wrong with that? These are some bogus charges. What's wrong with him flying a chick out? Because stars flies chicks out all the time and do stuff with chicks. But, now it's a crime to fly a woman out to you, and then it's called trafficking because you flying her out and doing something with her. They calling that traffic now. That's wrong. No. See, they saying that, and you have to be careful with people who are saying that. Whether they are big influence, whether they are stars or not influencers or not stars or whatever. But you have to be careful with people who say that, because people are skipping right over the fact that they keep saying these people was Mickey'd. These people was put things in their drinks that made them unconscious for these actions to happen. So it's telling me that they're skipping over that. Is it most likely because they have done the same thing that we have reading here about Diddy? Because if you think about it, they skip right over that and say, oh, all of a sudden it's a crime for a man to fly a woman across the country or fly a woman to him just to do something with her, or have some bedroom relations with her. Oh, now they calling that trafficking? See, they skipping clean over you flying the woman in, then sedate her with, or him with chemicals that knocks them out, and those people don't have approval to give consent. They're not coherent, they're not alert enough to give consent to activities that's being done to them while they're unconscious or knocked out. So you have to pay attention to the ones who talking like that, because they never mention, they keep skipping over the drug thing, the Mickey thing, the lace thing. They skipping clean over that and just going to, now it's a crime to fly a woman out. Yes, it's a crime to fly a woman out and then throw stuff in her drink and then have 3 or 4 other people join in while this person is unconscious. Come on now. So that's what I wanted to show y'all. If you read here, December the 6th, 2023, an anonymous woman, she was saying that, you remember that Diddy did something to her when she was 17 or whatever. But if you look, what's the first thing they do say is that something was in their drink with it. What it says, those toxic drinks and alcohol, and transporting her by private jet to New York City where she was gang did up. Okay? See, these men that I hear talking all over these social medias and stuff like that, pay attention, family, to the men who talk like that, but skip over the fact that this was being done too. The dropping in the drinks, the incoherent, and all that. See, why are they skipping over that and just trying to make it like Diddy is in trouble because he flew them girls out, or he flying girls to him and doing things with him and a couple of more people? They probably consented to having FO parties and all that. And a lot of them say they didn't. So why are we skipping over that, fellas? It's the majority of fellas, but I heard some women say it too. But I just wanted to check that right quick. Because you have to pay attention to the people who skip over the fact that these women and men were dropped toxic drinks in order for people to do nasty activities to them. Yeah. Then you will see here, it was another one. It was another lady. November 23rd, 2023, 2 more women came out and accused her. Okay, then the first woman, Jody Dickinson, she said the same thing. What did she say? She was doing a music video with Combs and alleged in her suit that the artist dropped that toxic stuff in her drink and then did the essay in 91. Okay, so these drinks are coming up a lot, which we talked about that. Okay, and then you had the little Rod. He said the same thing. What does he say? The beverage laced with toxic chemicals to house party guests. And then everybody just become incoherent, can't consent to nothing. They either knocked out or they unconscious, and then they get taken advantage of. So why is the people skipping over that and trying to make it like it's just a thing about him flying women in and out, and that's not a crime? Okay? I heard Boosie say something like that. Heard some more people say something like that. So you have to be very careful when you hear certain men talk like that, because they know what it really is. They just skipping over that and try to make it look like, oh, he flying women in and out and they agree to have FOs with Diddy. That shouldn't be no crime. You see how they trying to do a black man? But they keep skipping clean over the fact that it was white toxic chemicals and every doggone thing else putting these people stuff. Why is that? Why are they skipping over that? So it just tells me, have they done the same thing or doing the same thing? Or are they skipping over that specific lace stuff for a reason? So you can't half-ass tell a story. Tell a story all the way right. Okay? So pay attention to the ones who talk like that, family. But this is the girl who filed it. So that lady there did file a new lawsuit on Diddy just here this past week. Then it says Diddy finally gets to talk to his children briefly, and while he's incarcerated, okay, and he has 7 children, and they saying he is very concerned about his kids and their well-being. The insider says he has 3 minor children, 2 of whom now have no living parents available, with him being incarcerated. Okay, 4 of his 7 children have neither parents available, with him being incarcerated. Okay, but they said that, he did get to talk to him. They talking about that 100, and that's his kids. The 2 twins are now looking for an apartment. They are still in high school. They are 17 years old. The twin daughters, Jessie and Delilah, are reportedly looking for a rental home in LA after their dad's arrest, okay? And it says that the twins have been looking at homes to rent with their late mother, Kim Porter's close friend, LaWanda, okay, Lane, who is acting as the girls' caretakers amid their father's arrest. Okay, my thing is, where's Diddy Mama? And Diddy Mama must not be. I don't know. Is she dependable enough to raise her own grandkids? Why is it that Kim Porter's best friend have to be the one to take care of the 17-year-old? Seem like that would be a grandmother's job. You know, I just couldn't see anything happening to mine, and then my son's or daughter's best friend take and be a caregiver for my grandkids, and I'm still here. That's my job. But you know, they say that Diddy mom is probably not that dependable, so I don't know. But I was just asking. Yeah, just a question. So the teenagers, it says being a teenager is hard enough, and now they have to go through this being so public. The source told the outlet that the teens want to focus on trying to have things as normal as possible at the moment as they prepare for their senior year of high school and college. So, unbelievable. So, it says that Diddy, the I'll Be Missing You rapper, allegedly used those substances like the cocaine, the K-mean, the oxdone, as well as his influence to coerce and intimidate women and men in F-offs, okay, which were allegedly sometimes captured on camera without the victim's knowledge, okay? So that's why I'm saying about why are people leaving out the dropping Mickeys and the drinks and the lace and all that without these people permission, men and women, without their permission, you know. And you got a lot of men out here I'm listening to that's skipping clean over that. Why is that? They skipping clean past the incoherence, the passing out, the unconscious, and they being taken advantage of like that. Why are they leaving that out? Pay attention to the males and the females on social media who are speaking like that and leaving that part out. I've heard a lot of them. I'm like, what are they talking about? Oh, so now it's a crime for you to fly a woman out and have relations with her. No, that's not what they said. And the detective clearly said it loud and clear when he did the report on it. You know, these people, if you listen to them closely, people who talk about Diddy's thing, they purposely skips over the lace charges, the dropping substance in the drink charges, or dropping stuff in the food charges, and being forced to do stuff while they're incapable of consenting. They skip clean over that and just jump to Diddy just flying them out to have F-offs. Okay? Yeah, pay attention to those type of people, because most likely those type of people have done that, so they skipping it because it brings back memories to them. Or either they skipping it on purpose because they don't want to talk about it because they know they do it. So they just start off with flying girls back and forth, and that's not what this case is all about. So you have to pay attention to people like that, because when they talk like that, it automatically sends a red flag. They skipping it for a reason. Yeah. Let's talk about it. So let's talk about that right there on what that man said. Okay? Listen to the detective, the FBI.
The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant.
So what did he say? Combs used these things to keep his victims obedient and compliant. This FBI agent said this when Diddy got arrested. Why are there some people skipping over that and going straight to, oh, so now it's a crime for a dude to fly a girl to see him, or fly a girl on his jet to a different country and do something with her, or fly a girl out here, there. Oh, so now it's a crime to do that? That is not what it says. So why is they skipping over that, family? Why are people out here skipping over that? And I see it's a lot of older generations, like in their 40s and up. In Diddy's age bracket. Because that was hip at the time. Remember I told y'all that? I grew up with Diddy's era. A little bit older than Diddy. So I ain't talking about what I think. I'm talking about what I know. And I was born and raised in New York City. So I know and heard a lot of rumors about Diddy back then. But the thing is, why is people skipping over that? Because that was hip back in the day to do that to a woman, and nobody would really take a woman serious when she said it. This is another whole different era now where this is not tolerated. So when you hear people skip over it, most likely they was involved in it. Not with Diddy, maybe they just did it themselves somewhere. But you have to watch the people who talk like that. Not saying that they have. Not saying that they haven't. It just gives out a big red flag of when they jump to that. He flew women out and that shouldn't be a crime, but they skip all over what that detective just said. Let's hear it again. Yeah.
Keep them obedient and compliant. Which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs didn't get any of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs.
Okay. So some people act like they didn't hear none of that. But anyway, just pay attention to the people who skip clean over these charges and don't mention anything about the real details buried inside of these charges. They twist the charge towards, oh, he just flying girls out and they agreed to have free. You know, anybody can have a F-off party. Ain't no crime in that. No, it's not no crime in that. You can have 50 people that participate in an F-off and everybody know what they doing. Ain't nobody dropping no toxic stuff in their stuff. Ain't nobody putting nothing in your food to make you drop unconscious. As long as it's clean and good, ain't nothing wrong with it. This wasn't clean and good, according to some of the people allegedly. Yeah. And this racketeering charge, another thing. Everybody keeps saying, oh, Diddy got racketeering charges. Can't wait to see who all they bring in for the racketeering charges. How soon we forget. R. Kelly had racketeer charges too. But R. Kelly, nobody went down with R. Kelly. He had racketeering charges, which I talked about that too. How do you put racketeering charges on somebody, but then it's only one person that goes down? Because R. Kelly been in there a long time and nobody else went down with his racketeering charge. So just because Diddy is being charged with racketeering does not mean we're going to see other people go down with him. Nobody else go down with R. Kelly. How soon we forget. Let's check it out. How soon we forget. See, that's what I talk about the knowledge family. How soon we forget. Check it out. R. Kelly. A day later, following his arrest, federal prosecutors from New York City and Chicago indicted Kelly on 18 charges, including child thing, child, you know what, ST, kidnapping, forced labor, racketeering. Those are identical to Diddy except for the first two. Everything else, the ST, the kidnapping, the forced labor, all of that is on Diddy's charge. Racketeering and obstruction of justice. Remember they mentioned that also on Diddy. So Diddy has just about the identical charges that R. Kelly have, except for the first two lines. Except for these two lines, everything else, Diddy has identical. R. Kelly was charged with racketeering, but no, we never saw anybody else do time with Kelly for racketeering. So when people say, oh, they keep saying racketeering, but they ain't showing us nobody else that was involved in Diddy's thing. They're not, most likely, because they got away with it with R. Kelly's thing. R. Kelly's case had racketeering, but didn't nobody go down but R. Kelly. Most likely it's going to be the same way with Sean Diddy Combs. He's going down for racketeering, but ain't nobody else going to come into that racketeering. It's just going to be him. How soon we forget. Yeah. So when people waiting on other people, you know, we waiting on other people to see what the racketeering, who else is inside the racketeering. A lot of people were saying that about R. Kelly, and the racketeering never came. Never came. So now you could be charged with racketeering and you go down by yourself. That don't automatically mean that they're going to bring other people in along for the ride. If you are the head honcho, you take the racketeering charge by yourself. Okay? Now, let's talk about, I just want to say this right quick, and then I'm done. But D.L. Hugley slams Janet Jackson. And what happened was Janet Jackson had an interview, and she said something about Kamala Harris. Wasn't degrading or anything like that. She just said that she didn't know. Right here, she had an interview with a Guardian publishing on a Saturday, and she said, oh, she's not black. That's what I heard. That she's Indian, Jackson said in the interview. Her father's white. That's what I was told. I mean, I haven't watched the news in a few days. I was told that they discovered her father was white. Jackson then seemed to issue a public apology that was later revealed to be issued without her authorization. The rep who issued the apology later told the Daily Beast he was fired over the incident. So Janet said what she said. Oh, you know, I heard she wasn't black. I heard her father was white. And so that's what I heard. Because the interviewer person said, how does it feel to have a black woman or something run for president? And then that's when Janet said, oh, well, I heard she wasn't black. You see what I'm saying? So Janet said that. And DL came, but let me straighten this out because they are saying in history, and DL is going to say it in here, they do say looking back that yes, Kamala's father is from Jamaica, but he wasn't born in Jamaica. He was born in Jamaica, but he's not. He said his family is his family is Irish, and they moved to Jamaica, and then they had him in Jamaica, which makes him a Jamaican American, okay? Because they moved from America to Jamaica, and then they had him. So that's what makes her father from Jamaica. Now, this is what the research shows. I don't know if it is. I ain't got no dog in no fight. I don't care. I'm just explaining to y'all how that rumor started about her father is not black. He's white because his father has his parents is so-called Irish, okay? But they moved to Jamaica and he was born in Jamaica, okay? That's just the rumors out there. I don't know. But anyway, you will see that the guy said on September 22nd that Janet's brother, older brother Randy, fired him for coming out. So when Janet said that, this guy here, Mo, came out to apologize without consulting with Janet. Like, oh, Janet's so sorry. She didn't mean to say that or whatever. And Janet said, I didn't tell you to apologize for me. I didn't tell you to apologize for me at all. I said what I said, and I don't need nobody to apologize. I didn't authorize that. Randy, her older brother, Randy Jackson, is Janet's manager. So Janet and Randy fired this man for putting out an apology that was not authorized by Janet to do so. Okay? Now, this is what DL said. He gets mad that Janet said that in her interview about Kamala Harris, okay? And then it says, DL Hugley says Janet Jackson has the nose of a white woman, okay? And I'm trying to figure out what that means, DL, because, you know, when you say, what's a white woman nose, DL Hugley? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because that statement alone is prejudice towards white women and black women. Actually, all nationalities, because without surgery or with surgery, whatever, if Janet got something done in her nose or whatever, I don't know. But the thing is, we have all different structures of nose. And there's some black women out here that haven't never had surgery but have a pointed nose. So is that considered a white woman's nose because a black woman's nose is pointy? It just sounds a lot prejudiced, DL. That's all I'm just saying. It sounds real prejudiced to say a statement like that. But black women, white women, and other race of women have similar nose structures from different backgrounds, whether they get surgery or not. I know a lot of black women who have pointed king nose and never had a surgery a day in their life, and they fully black. Okay? And so DL started tweeting against Janet. He said, Trump-loving Randy Jackson seems to be behind Janet Jackson's delusion. Okay, because Randy fired the guy who said the apology without authorization. DL now dumping on Randy and said Randy seems to be behind Janet Jackson's delusion. Well, you have to understand, Randy is Janet's manager and her brother. So if don't nobody else stick behind you, it's supposed to be with your siblings or your parents. So I don't see why DL even wrote that. But anyway, then DL tweeted again. At Janet Jackson interview sounds like a Trump rally. FYI. It's a little ironic to question whether someone is black while you're breathing through the nose of a white woman. Hugley posted. Okay. Then it says that people react to DL's post. Some of them agree with what DL says. Some people said that DL stooped a little bit too low. Okay? I agree. He stooped a little bit too low because what Janet said, she was just saying, well, I just heard that. It wasn't like she started talking about Kamala's nose and Kamala's shape and Kamala's hair texture and all that. She didn't do all that. But DL went there on Janet Jackson, okay? Then it says, after going after her nose, Hugley fired off 2 more messages aimed at the Grammy winner, Janet Jackson. He then posts, Kamala Harris looks the way she does because she has mom from India and dad from Jamaica. Look at how he worded that. He didn't say her dad is Jamaican. He knows too. He must did his research because he's just saying he's from Jamaica. Being from Jamaica is different from being Jamaican. Okay? So, DL says her mom is from India and her dad is from Jamaica. Janet Jackson looks the way she does because she has plastic surgery. Okay? Then it says, he tweeted again, all I know is Kamala looks like she did when she was in Oakland. But Janet doesn't look like she did when she was Penny. What the hell was in that iron? He added, seemingly referring to Jackson's recurring role as Penny Gordon Woods on the 1976 sitcom Good Times. So, DL went there, okay? But see, my thing is, I want to say this right quick. DL has disrespected black women since he been in show business, okay? Me and DL is 61 years old. I'm not quite that old, but I'm not too far behind DL, okay? So, DL has disrespected black women since he been in showbiz, in my opinion. And he's called black women on a basketball team nappy-headed. Black women, let that slide for DL. See, we've been giving DL a hell of a lot of breaks. Black women been giving DL a hell of a lot of breaks because DL done said a lot of disrespectful mess about black women, and black women has let it slide. But we got to put a stop to it when he hit the icon Janet, okay? It's just time. It's just this type of decade where black women are tired of being dumped on, okay? And stepped on. And we are the most that protects everyone. You clearly seen it when Mr. Paul got ready to get jumped. Who was right there in the fight? Black women. Black women do it for everybody. But we're tired of being dumped on. Okay? It's just time to stop it. So anyway, DL been doing this ever since he been in showbiz, and black women been giving him a pass. We gave him a pass when he called that whole basketball team, who is majority black women, he called them nappy-headed. Okay? Yeah, I'm going to let y'all hear that in a minute. Then he came out and said his daughter told him that a male did some unwanted gestures to her. And DL said that he didn't say anything to the male because the dude was his friend, okay? Black women gave him a pass for that. We was upset about it, didn't agree with it, didn't like it at all, but DL got a pass, okay? Then he got into it with Monique. We gave him another pass. We really didn't say too much about him and Monique bickering at each other. And he said some foul things about Monique. Monique said some foul things about him. That's why we kind of laid low. We didn't say nothing because Monique did say some stuff too. Okay? But then you got DL at 61 years old. And this is the degrading tweets he put out about Janet Jackson. And it just wasn't called for. Okay? He put out those degrading tweets on our icon. Black women are not letting DL slide this time. We just can't. We can't, DL. And DL had enough passes from black women. And now we will put our stilettos on DL's back every chance we get. Enough is enough, DL, with the black women disrespect and degrading, because he has done it a lot. And I know some people say, well, you know, he do speak up for black women sometime. Look here, you can't feed us cake and then spit on our steak too and expect for us to eat the steak too. No. It don't work like that, okay? Now, I need DL to focus on not falling off that damn bar stool on stage. Remember, he fell off that bar stool when he was in his late 50s, collapsed clean off on stage. Now, I don't know what it was, say C19, I don't know. My point is, he dogged Janet Jackson nose and her appearance and all that, but Janice ain't collapsed on stage yet. So her nose keeping her healthy as hell. What about your nose? That's what I'm talking about. See, be careful what you talk about. Because Janet has put on plenty of hardcore dancers. She on stage. I'm talking about that girl will flip, trip, do all that. She gonna put on a show. She ain't fell out yet. She ain't collapsed yet on none of her performance. But DL set his ass right up in the chair on stage where he don't even move and fell clean out. So while you worried about Janet's nose, maybe you need her nose to hold you up so you don't fall out. Because it looks like her nose is doing a hell of a lot better than yours. Yeah. It looks like Janet and her nose is healthy enough to give the concert goers a whole lot of their money's worth. Her and her nose will give her concert goers their money's worth when she hits that stage. Unlike DL, who got on that stage and wasn't up there 5 minutes and fell out. And them folks, I don't know if they got their refund or did he do a whole nother show. I don't know. But what I do know is he didn't last 5 minutes on that stage. So who knows is better? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Please let me know. You know? I would really like to know that. Anyway, DL said some worse things about Kamala. What Janet said wasn't nothing. DL used to dog Kamala out on his tweets. And then he had the nerve to say something to Janet when Janet said something. Boy, bye. See, when you done did something like that before, you need to sit this one out. You don't need to say, because if you have dogged Kamala, rather you apologize or not for what you said about the woman, the point still remains that you said some nasty things about that woman. So when Janet said something, your ass, DL, should have set this one out. Because you did the same thing once upon a time, and Janet didn't even do as half as worse as you did. Let's talk about it. So let's listen to DL, because I want to bring this up. Let's listen to DL.
So I could, and it's always, and the reason it hits home to me is because my youngest daughter said something happened to her, and because it was somebody I liked, I didn't believe her. And I'll never get that back. I'm supposed to protect her, and I'll never get that back that she told her father something, and he didn't do nothing about it.
See, so that's what I'm talking about. See, when you have a lot of making up to do with your family members and your child and your children and all that, you don't have time to worry about what the hell Janet say. You got too much on your plate. You're supposed to be focusing on making up for the mistakes you did. So how do you defend an outside person? See, DL came and defended Kamala, which I have no problem with it. It's the way he did it, okay? We're tired of the people dumping on black women, especially black men, when we are the first to come to protect them, okay? And we remember people like this. Now, we love our black men, but the ones who dump on us, they ain't got no support no more. No, we not falling for that. We not doing the okie dokes no more, okay? Now, my thing is when you have stuff like that, DL should be focused on making things right with his daughter. That takes years and years and years. I mean, it takes until you leave to just keep showing that person that you're sorry about not doing something when they came to you for help, okay? Now, my thing is, though, how do you protect Kamala but didn't protect you protected an outside person and dogged Janet out for an outside person, but you didn't protect your inside person against something that was very needed to be taken care of. See, so we have to watch what we say, people. We really do. And when DL said that when he had a child on the outside of his marriage, he also said that he wanted God to take the child off of him. He wanted to take all this off of him. And then the child passed away. And he said it was like weight lifted off of him. What? Because he didn't want to tell his wife that he had an outside child. So when the outside child deceased, it was kind of like a relief. What? Let you hear it. Hold on.
Flats in Los Angeles, my friend calls me and says, the baby's in the hospital, he's not going to make it. And I remember praying that God would take this off me all that time. I was like, and instantly, I thought two things. My prayer was answered.
Okay, he said his prayers was answered. So that's what I'm talking about. And what I'm doing is, I'm just showing that it's things like this that we could have all been rode DL's neck about. And we didn't. DL got a lot of passes. But this is it, because he's getting out of control. And it ain't old age. He just out of control. Because he's been doing this. He's been dumping on black women for a long, long time, ever since he's been in show business. And I really, myself, don't watch a DL stand-up. It's not as funny. We just tolerate DL. Now, so he got to pass on that one. You know? Then, this white man named Don Imus, he called a basketball team that's majority black. He called them some, you see right there, controversy was on. It was one of Don Imus' biggest regrets. It says that some nappy-headed, there. I'm going to tell you that now, man. That's some woos. And the girls from Tennessee. So he got on this white man here, Don Imus. He said on the program while the girls was playing, this was back in 2007. He said that the chicks was, there you go, April 4th, 2007. He said that the women on the basketball team was nappy-headed. You know what, right? Y'all see it there. And he said he was on the broadcast. He was broadcasting the game, too. Live TV. He said, boy, them some nappy-headed I'm going to tell you that now, man. Them some woos. He was talking about, he was into it, right? Oh, them some nappy-headed. Oh, right? So when DL had a interview with a late night show, that late night show host asked DL about the comment that Don Imus made, right? DL said, well, they ain't no, I don't think they hoes, but I do think they were nappy-headed now. They was nappy-headed. So DL said this about women, black women in 2007. We then let DL have another pass. And we didn't get on his neck then. See, if we had got on his neck then, we wouldn't be having this problem now. So listen to him agree with this white man saying that black women on that team was nappy-headed.
You know, he called them hoes, nappy-headed hoes, and they weren't hoes. But it was some nappy-headed women on that team. Some nappy-headed women on that team. Shut up, I'm gonna say it, I don't give a damn, y'all like it or not, you know it's true. Them are some of the ugliest women I ever seen in my whole life.
See there? See, DL got to pass that time. And we should have cut DL's short. We should have put our stilettos on DL's back then. Because not only did he say we was nappy-headed, he said, oh yeah, that man was right. Now, I ain't going to agree with the whole part, but I'm going to say I agree with him when he said nappy. Boy, them was some of the ugliest women that I've seen in my life. And we gave him another pass. So, see, that's why when it comes to Janet Jackson, he gets no pass. This is the and it don't matter if it hadn't been Janet Jackson. If it hadn't been any other black woman that DL said something to, we was already at our wits' end about DL black women jokes, and DL black women degrading, and DL's black women disrespect. Yes. Yeah. That was the last straw. Black woman let DL slide once again. But enough is enough. We will keep our stilettos and house shoes on DL's back. Most likely to be pulling support from DL as well. It ain't got nothing to do with all this Kamala stuff. We care nothing about that. We talking about black women. This disrespect stuff got to stop. I don't want nobody coming in my comment section talking about, oh, but you know, he do talk up for black women sometimes. Like I said, you can't feed us cake and spit on our steak and expect for us to like it and eat it too. It don't work like that. Feed us something good and then feed us something toxic. No. It don't work like that no more. Keep on with the flip mouth. This goes for anybody. Keep on with the flip mouth on black women and our black women icons and black men as well, because we still take up for them. See, we know who got our back. We stand strong behind our black men, but there's some of them out here that love to degrade black women. And that's going to stop. Watch how we move in silence and pull back our support and our money. That goes for any of you farmers out here who like to talk greasy and talk down and talk nasty and disrespect black women. Keep on with the flip mouth, all you farmers who love to throw flip mouth on black women, and watch how we pull those supports from now on. Pay close attention to the after effect after your disrespect. Y'all didn't hear me. These are for the ones who love to disrespect black women. We want you to pay close attention to your after effect after you have disrespected black women. Think it's a game. That's all I got to say. Gain knowledge to forbid blockage. We all know what that means. The more you know, the harder it is for anybody to block you out from your goals and success. Please hit that like button, family. Love y'all. Bye-bye.